strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, you know it. I know it. Truer words have never been said. It does not matter who the host is. It definitely does matter who the listeners are. That's the important portion. Anyways, today is Friday. Yes, May the 27th of 2022. Day 147th of the year. And only 218 days left to go. Wow. What a fantastic time we live in, huh? What do you think about that? So let's get into it. Let's start talking. Let's get moving. Let's get grooving. Let's start doing all the stuff that you and I have deemed to be importante as we are hanging and banging and all that kind of fun stuff. Anyways, we are broadcasting, as you can probably imagine, from our Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM, and of course, hanging out with our friends and colleagues at that other place that we do stuff at.
You're being infiltrated. Radio Big.
Yes, we are hanging out with our friends at Radio Big. You know, I get that question from time to time, and I'll make reference that I am getting the question in callinradio.com, so just in case. But the question comes up of why do I say that I'm broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida? Well, if you're not aware, we are a radio station that has quite a few broadcasters or podcasters, depending on how you want to take a look at it. So depending where they're located, that would be where they are at. So that would be why we would say from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida. Because if I had somebody who was, let's say, in Boulder, Colorado, I'll use that as an example, and you'll understand why here in a very brief period of time. They would say that they were broadcasting from that studio, and so on and so on and so on. So there you go. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this right away. We need to start talking immediately about the things that were trending in the overnight. So let's talk about some of those things because I think you're going to want to know what's going on. Anyways, the Twitterverse was shocked in the passing of Ray Liotta yesterday. It was all over the place. I have read different reports. One said that he was in the Dominican Republic filming a movie at the time. And then I also have some other ones, but we can get into that here very shortly. Winnie the Pooh was trending on Thursday after news broke that the honey-loving bear would be starring in a new horror flick. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a bit. Also, BTS is headed to the White House. We'll talk about a little bit about that. And then hashtag #and/or was trending after the teaser trailer of the new Star Wars series dropped. So there you go. So we can talk about all that kind of fun stuff. So there is no worry no worry there on what we can discuss. Now, here's the thing. You know that I normally don't have anything really planned out when we start talking about some of these things on this show. So with that being said, it is Freeform Friday, so we will go a little bit of everywhere and anywhere that you want to go today in regards to talking about what the hell's going on inside of the level of the multiverse. So if you're interested in talking a little bit about everything, go to callinradio.com. That's callinradio.com, and we'll get you moving and grooving and all that kind of fun stuff because, it's always some intriguing times and be able to discuss some of the things that are going on right there. Anyways, if you're not familiar with the show, we talk about safety in the news and safety. So that's the way that it kind of goes around. We will probably be a little bit more news heavy today than normal because that's normally what happens on Fridays. So just for some reference pieces so people are not in shocky as I start talking about some of the stuff that is going on inside of the world of the news. So just in case. What else? I think that pretty much covers the majority of the things that I have to say right now. And then outside of that, callinradio.com if you want to interact with the show. Easiest way to do it. So let's get into some news right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
NBC News Radio, I'm Michael Kastner. Some Texas funeral homes are trying to get enough coffins for the 19 kids and 2 teachers killed in Tuesday's school massacre. The small town of Uvalde typically buries 6 kids a year, not 19 all at once. The gunman apparently wasn't confronted by an armed resource officer after all. Mark Mayfield has a story.
Department of Public Safety South Texas Regional Director Victor Escalon gave conflicting answers on whether an officer was at Robb Elementary in Uvalde on Tuesday. He promised it was under investigation. Escalon did say several police officers engaged the gunman inside the building. They were shot at and called for backup. He notes it's only a rumor that law enforcement waited 40 minutes for a tactical team to go inside the classroom where the gunman was hiding.
Texas Democratic candidate for Governor Beto O'Rourke plans to take part in a protest outside the National Rifle Association convention in Houston today. Brian Gann reports.
O'Rourke says he plans to attend a rally against gun violence not far from where the NRA meeting will be held. It comes just days after the elementary school massacre in Uvalde, Texas, where he later interrupted a news briefing by Governor Greg Abbott demanding actions be taken to stop gun violence, screaming, "This is on you."
This is totally predictable when you... Sir, you're out of line.
O'Rourke later explained why he interrupted the governor's briefing.
He talked about that this was evil. The only thing evil is what he continues to do to the people of the state.
O'Rourke is challenging Governor Abbott in the Texas governor's race.
Skyrocketing gas prices at the pump are going hand in hand with the unofficial start of summer today. AAA's Mark Jenkins says the nationwide average price for regular is hovering at just $4.60 a gallon. But it's not enough to stop many from driving to their holiday destinations.
Coming out of a 2-year pandemic, a lot of folks really want to travel again, and they're not letting higher prices stop them.
Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
More sarcasm than a Mortal Kombat beatdown. Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in London, I'm Ollie Barrett. Ukraine's President Zelensky says the Donbass region could end up uninhabited after the Russian invasion. Gitanjali Shree's become the first Indian author to win the International Booker Prize. China and Russia have vetoed a US-led UN Security Council resolution to strengthen sanctions on North Korea, and Liverpool and Real Madrid fans are making their way to Paris ahead of Saturday's Champions League final.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety Show.
At least 4 people are dead and 2 more are injured after a home exploded in Pottstown, Pennsylvania. Mark Mayfield with the latest.
Pottstown Borough Manager Justin Keller confirmed the news late Thursday evening, saying 2 other people are possibly unaccounted for. Images show houses completely leveled with debris covering the street. WGAL-TV reports that 60 people have been displaced from their homes because of the blast. Pottstown is located about 40 miles outside of Philadelphia. I'm Mark Mayfield.
A member of the Manson family is being recommended for parole. Patricia Krenwinkel and other followers of cult leader Charles Manson were convicted of murder for the 1969 killing of actress Sharon Tate, coffee heiress Abigail Folger, and several others, and for the murders of businessman Leo LaBianca and his wife Rosemary. Krenwinkel is now 74 years old and is the longest-serving female inmate in the California prison system. On Thursday, state prison officials said Krenwinkel has been found suitable for parole. The decision still has to be reviewed by the Board of Parole and by the governor. A potentially hazardous asteroid is zooming past Earth today. Brian Shook with the details.
It measures just over a mile long, making it the largest asteroid to get relatively close to our planet this year. Although it is massive, there's no need to worry, as it will be 2.5 million miles away when it passes Earth. A live stream of the asteroid flying past our planet can be watched at virtualtelescope.eu. I'm Brian Shook.
Rock fans are mourning the death of Yes drummer Alan White, who died Thursday at the age of 72. Steve Greenfield reports.
White's family said he passed away at his Seattle, Washington home following a brief illness. He joined the English rock group in 1972. White was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a member of Yes 5 years ago.
Stock futures are mildly lower this morning. Michael Kastner, NBC News Radio.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
It's always amazing to me on how technology changes, and so does the environment that we're in. And cyber criminals will do everything they can to take advantage of a system. If you don't own a home, you have nothing to fear about what I'm about to tell you. But if you own a home like me and you don't guard it with Home Title Lock, you're inviting home title fraud. One of the fastest growing crimes. Cyber thieves around the world know our home values are sky high at the moment, and that makes us a target. The crime is scary simple. Let me explain it to you real quick. A cyber thief simply forges your name on a property sale form and refiles it. That's it. Now he or she is on the deed of your home and you have no idea that you're a victim. Then the person takes out a loan on your home and vanishes, leaving you to prove to the police that you didn't commit bank fraud. Home Title Locks puts a virtual barrier around your home title. The instant they detect any kind of tampering or anybody messing around, they help shut it down. Look, if you have equity in your home, you need to guard it the best way that you can. Some people might even go as far as guarding it with their life. Go to HometitleLock.com and register your address to see if you already are a victim. And enter the code RADIO. That's RADIO. That's the code RADIO for 30 days free of protection. That's code RADIO at HometitleLock.com.
Listen at your own risk. Rated R Safety Show.
We all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Hey, are you tired of hanging around and talking about safety in a boring kind of format? Well, I got something for you. If you haven't hung out with us yet at safetyfm.com, I'm going to encourage you to do so. Yeah, if you come out to Safety FM, you can come hang out with all kinds of safety professionals. Some are safety professionals, some are just people that are talking about safety. But we want to do it in a format that makes it fun and entertaining. If you're kind of trying to figure out what the FM portion is, well, we're a radio station and also a podcast network. You can come out, hang out, and listen to my show, The Jay Allen Show. You can listen to Todd Conklin with the pre-accident investigation, Blaine J. Hoffman with the Safety Pro, the Hop Nerd, Sam Goodman, just to name a few on what can be found on the station. Different things for different people, trying to bring safety in an entertaining form. SafetyFM.com. Go to the website, download the app, and carry it with you all day long. SafetyFM.com. We'll be waiting for you.
You are listening to something magical. You're listening to the Rated R Safety Show.
Oh, Magic and Rated R Safety Show. Not sure if they tie in together, but definitely something worth talking about. That is for sure. Anyways, taking it from the very top of the hit list, let's go from there. Twitter founder Jack Dorsey has vacated his seat on the company's board. His exit has been planned for some time, even before Elon Musk on his takeover bid in earnest. Dorsey and Musk are reportedly friendly, and let's see, what else? The former could, let's see, and they could possibly have a role in the organization after it is purchased. So let's see how that goes, and we'll figure that out from there. I guess that is the best way to take a gander at it in one way, shape, or form. Anyways, a bison that escaped a transport trailer last September in northern Illinois has finally been recaptured. This is one hell of a slick bison, if you really start thinking about it there. It's been spotted on and off throughout the winters, named by locals Billy the Bison or Tyson the Bison, depending on who you talk to. Though it is one in particular is a female, so I don't know. A company that specializes in animal wrangling called Loose Cattle Caught. Loose Cattle Caught used a drone surveillance and a hunting dog to track down the bison and lightly tranquilize them. How do you lightly tranquilize somebody? I lightly tranquilize myself. And it led it into the barn with a promise of food. It's then on its way back to the owner soon. Then it will be chopped up and served at Montana Ted's or whatever the hell it's called. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up there. That's for sure. But that's interesting. So it was tranquilized lightly. In regards to getting that moved, I don't know. I mean, taking the cattle to the slaughter, as people say. Anyways, Elizabeth Johnson Jr. of Salem, Massachusetts, has been officially pardoned by the state legislature for charges of witchcraft 329 years after the initial conviction. Hold on. If she's still alive for this, I might say she is a witch, but who the hell knows? Anyways, John didn't receive a death sentence after the original 1693 conviction, but the case followed her for the rest of her life, while Massachusetts has issued similar such pardons throughout the history. Johnson's name arose thanks to the 8th grade civics class researching the topic last fall. Her case simply fell through the cracks over time. Salem is notorious for its Puritan history and witch trials, which sent 20 women accused of the practice to their death and left hundreds of others accused. I mean, I guess let's talk about this because I want to have a better understanding. You all of a sudden said, hey, there's a 329-year-old case that we think that we need to go ahead and pardon somebody. I mean, was it just for the purposes of clearing up the name? I mean, I don't get it. I really don't, but I guess it's interesting to talk about. I guess that's why it's good that it's Freeform Friday, because we can talk about anything at this particular point. But what the hell, dude? 329 years later, let's go ahead and pardon. Let's pardon, not really a pardon because there was really no conviction, but the name is cleared, and I'm glad that the taxpayer dollars have really went into something very important.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, something to think about there, that's for sure. Let's continue talking. While expensive tech stocks are tanking in the recent days, some of the stores are doing better than expected. Dollar General and Dollar Tree's stores reported earnings that beat investors' expectation. The Wall Street Journal reports. Hold on, the dollar store was doing better than the dollar that they expected they would make, according to Wall Street. So now I'm having some questions there about Wall Street for sure. Anyways, Dollar Tree announced last year that it would begin selling products for more than $1, rising inflation and cost of sale increases. It is a sign of the economic strength when discount retailers are the only ones thriving. I mean, that's something to think about for sure. I mean, think about this for a moment. The Dollar Tree mostly is now $1.25, $1.50, depending on what the hell you're getting in there. But the cost of inflation continues. It's causing everything to go up. And we're starting to take a look, and you have to question that minimum wage thing. And I know this is probably about a terrible time to talk about this, but that thing hasn't any kind of, nothing has changed it over the last little bit. And we continue to see price rises. Rising and rising and rising and rising and rising and rising. I mean, if we're talking right now, $4.60 a gallon for gas and $7.25 is normally what somebody makes based on federal minimum wage, they ain't going anywhere. I mean, I guess when you start taking a look at it, what are you cutting back on currently because of price hikes? Just something to think about. But before I get too far into it, maybe I should bring in some Johnny Smalls and let him tell you what's going on with the Market Beat.
Here's your Market Beat Minute for Friday, May 27th, 2022. The rebound in equities gained momentum Thursday after a series of better-than-expected earnings from some key retailers. The news highlights the difference in company operations more so than a divide in customer habits, as those with resonating brands and omni-channel business models have been outperforming the rest of the retail sector. The caveat for investors is that news from the retail sector highlights a trend within the broader market as well, that of rotation. The FOMC is on track to raise rates to restrictive levels, and that is driving rotation from underperforming names into those well-positioned for the new operating environment. The risk for the market today is the PCE price index. If the market can get past that, we may see a test of resistance at the 4,100 level. Next week, the market will be on the lookout for another round of key economic data, including the Fed's Beige Book, construction spending, and non-farm payroll. You can get the inside track in your inbox at marketbeatminute.com.
Okay, thank you, Johnny Smalls, for that one. Anyways, thank you for the messages that are coming in at callinradio.com. I'm seeing what's going on. Sorry for the tangents. I get it. I understand it. I don't really apologize because there's nothing to apologize for, but it is a lot of questions to come up. The other portion to reference real quick. If you were putting anything on social media, I can't see it now. Realistically, I cannot see it. So maybe that's a good thing. But if you go into Call In Radio and you want to get popped into the system where we can see and I can talk about it, or if you want to call in, you're more than welcome on doing that. Callinradio.com. Simplest process of doing so, just in regards of getting you moving and grooving and all that kind of fun stuff as we are talking. Anyways, let me tell you a little bit about this. The Dow had a blockbuster day, adding 544 points. West Texas Intermediate and Brent crude prices soared on Thursday afternoon as the barrel of oil went to $114 as analysts anticipated an increase of demand over the summer months. The national average gas price is $4.60, a new record. Not a record that you want to be breaking, but that's according to AAA. Now, the fun part is a lot of stuff that you can talk about here. I see a lot of things online where, hey, price of fuel during the pandemic was so much better. It was less than $2. I want you to think about that real quick. During the pandemic, price of fuel was so much better. It was less than $2. What were mostly people doing? They weren't doing anything, so they were locked up. Of course it was going to be cheaper. Supply and demand, my friend. Supply and demand. Let's talk about that. It's not that difficult a concept to talk about or to even think about, but I think some people get confused relatively quick on things that are going on. So anyways, I don't know. Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about what is going on today. If you're encouraged to watch the video on demand services, new to Amazon Prime is Emergency. Let's see. Kick Like Taylor is another one. And the new to Disney Plus will be Bad Boys. That comes out today. But I was under the impression, am I wrong on this? I could have swore that Stranger Things, the new season, wasn't that? I swore that was coming out today. And then, of course, that is something that you can go take a look at if you're so inclined to do so. I'm going to reference this real quick because it was all over the internet yesterday. There's 3 deaths that occurred yesterday, or that happened so far this week that were related to celebrities. So let's talk about these real quick. Ray Liotta has died. The actor, known for many outstanding roles, including Goodfellas, Field of Dreams, passed away in his sleep in the Dominican Republic. He was filming a new movie titled Dangerous Waters. He was 67 at the time of passing. Alan White has died. The longtime drummer of the British rock band Yes passed away at his home in Seattle on Thursday after a brief illness. He was 72. Also, take a listen to this. The founding member of the English electronic band Depeche Mode passed away on Thursday. A cause of death was not shared. He was 60 at the time of passing. So there you go. A lot of stuff going on inside of that as we are speaking. And so there is some information for you as we are going right there. A lot of interesting stuff going on inside of the world of news. So there you go, some information as we are talking. Let's get into some other news on things that are going on inside of the world here. Unfortunately, talking about deaths. Let's talk a little bit more about this. So did you hear about this in Uvalde, Texas? The husband of one of the teachers that was killed in this week's Texas school shooting has died. His family says that he died of a broken heart. Sam Brock has more information.
After laying down flowers at a memorial, Joe Garcia returned home, sat down in a chair, and within minutes fell over.
He ended up suffering a fatal heart attack. Garcia's wife and former high school sweetheart was Irma Garcia. She was shot while defending her fourth grade students from the armed attacker in Uvalde. They leave behind 4 children. A GoFundMe page has been created to help them. I mean, I can't even fathom that. The conversation there. I want you to understand what I'm saying. This guy was not involved with this. Meaning that he was not there. He was not presently there. His wife died by defending the students inside of his classroom, and he died of a fatal heart attack after laying down flowers for her. Sat down and died. I can't even imagine that. I mean, that whole thing is just mind-boggling to me as I do bring this up. Don't even know what to say there. Let's continue talking a little bit more about things going on inside of the news. Los Angeles, California coronavirus cases numbers are once again on the rise at Los Angeles County Schools. Daniel Martindale has some more information to share.
Parents like this father are getting frustrated.
This is terrible. I thought this is done. I told my daughter when she goes to school, have to put the mask on.
There were more than 5,900 cases connected with LA County schools during the week that ended May 15th. More than 4,700 of those infected were students, and there were 16 outbreaks at schools last week. Many followed proms, field trips, and other large school events. LA County's public health director is encouraging students and staff members to wear masks indoors again. I'm Daniel Martindale.
Okay, thank you, Daniel, for sharing the information on what is going on. So some other news going on real quick. Delta is cutting flights this weekend and over the summer. Yeah, Delta is cutting flights just in time for Memorial Day weekend. Charlie O'Brien says that the information now is coming out where they are cutting these flights due to price increase, which I think is kind of weird. Why would you cut anything in regards of price increase? I mean, what is going on there? So that is just some stuff to talk about. Hold on. Why isn't this playing? Let's go through it.
Delta blames it on bad weather, short staffing, and an increase in COVID among employees. It's cutting flights this weekend and during the summer. That spells trouble with a capital T for the 2.5 million customers Delta expects to handle over the long weekend. A big problem finding enough pilots. Delta is cutting about 100 flights per day in July and early August. It's also waiving the fare difference for passengers who want to rebook to avoid disruptions flying to, from, or through Atlanta and cities in the Northeast from May 26th through the 28th. I'm Charlie O'Brien.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's bad enough that that airlines mostly have increased, which in regards to pricing, which I understand because of the cost of fuel. But then now to know on top of that you are going to be limited on the amount of flights that you actually can do, well, that does not help the sequence of things as we are talking, but something to talk about for sure. So what do you think about this? What comes to mind as these things come about and all that kind of fun stuff? Think about it for a moment. Like, at this point, what do you do? Do you just say, oh, well, I guess that's just part of life and let's continue on, or go through a different airline? The other portion that you have to take a look at as well is that these airlines will actually do some things where they actually will end up cutting flights in the midst of some of the stuff that's going on. I have a friend a few days ago that was traveling, was trying to get back from where the location he was at, and right as he was getting there, voila, he was informed that his flight had been canceled. And I was like, what? So all kinds of fun times going on right there. Anyways, 2 California postal workers accused of scamming $80,000 out of EDD. Yeah, 2 postal workers from Southern California have been arrested because of the feds think that they scammed out of $800,000 worth of unemployment benefits. Here's some more information.
Investigators believe the men stole identities from the mail and then fraudulently obtained Employment Development Department debit cards. One of the men is also accused of opening mail and stealing personal and business checks to the tune of $20,000. The 2 suspects worked for the U.S. Postal Service 30 miles north of Los Angeles in the Santa Clarita Valley. I'm Phil Hewlett.
I don't know what is going on around here. That is for sure. There raises a lot more questions than answers when you start thinking about it. So I guess today, we normally would not do a main story because it's Freeform Friday, and we try to do a little bit more of the interaction of the things that are going on and seeing and taking a look around. But I'm starting to realize, and I'm starting to recognize that there is a lot of confusion still that's out there. There's still a lot of confusion that's out there in regards on when we're taking a look at this whole thing of safety. And I guess I should probably tread lightly because we're not doing a quote-unquote main story. But why is it that people still believe in this enigma that you can predict what's going to happen next inside of your organization? Why is it there's this whole black hole thing that people believe that they're able to know exactly what's going to happen? It's like this weird enigma thing has happened. This thing has happened inside of my organization, and I'm able to predict that this is going to happen. Have you ever taken like 10 steps and then all of a sudden had a hop, skip, and jump because that was the pattern? I mean, I don't know. I don't know why this still continues to be a thing, but I'm starting to see more and more people come out of the woodwork again in talking about how this is the way that safety is. It's almost like we take substance safety, like the drug, and believe that all of a sudden we have these future predictable things. I'm going to tell you, if you are able to predict what's going to happen next, please let me know, because we need to meet up in your yacht with our individualized chefs and hang out and talk about this great piece of software and what it will be able to predict next. It's kind of ridiculous that we're getting to this pattern now that people believe that they can tell you the future on what's going to happen. It's just not realistic. But anyways, I guess that's going to be me once again going off on the long run as we are talking about stuff. Anyway, so let's get into some other things. Always some fun times going on and around and about as we are talking. It is currently 34 minutes past the top of the hour.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. I wish someone had told me that happiness was a consequence, not a goal. Happiness is like a butterfly. It's elusive. The harder you try to catch it, the more elusive it becomes. But if you'll be still, sit quietly, almost before you know it, that butterfly will light up on your shoulder. If you seek only your own happiness, you'll likely end up frustrated. But if you live your life honorably in sacrificial service to God and others, happiness will find you. Jesus said to his disciples, "The man who wants to save his life will lose it, but the man who loses his life for my sake will find it." Lord, help us to realize we have to seek the well-being of others to experience our own happiness. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
So do you feel like you're missing out on what everyone is starting to do now, that live streaming thing, and you don't know where to start or what to do? I have the resource and the information to provide to you in regards on how you can stream onto 40 social media platforms all at one time. Yes, that's 40 social media platforms all at one time. All you'll need to do is go to safetyfm.com/1. That's safetyfm.com/1. That's ONE. So just in case, and you'll be able to start live streaming just like you're hearing people starting to do right now, up to 40 social media platforms.
Listen to our host of the Rated R Safety Show self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Safety in a way never heard of before. The Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Ocean in between us, still I feel your heartbeat. There's something about you, baby, that makes me feel complete. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like this before, no. Keep coming back for your time at the time. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but I know I'll never leave you behind, no. Baby, I got you. When you feel like falling, I'll be there to prove, yeah.
Oh, there you go. 39 minutes past the top of the hour.
Baby, I got you.
This is I Got You by Nightcap featuring Vicky Vox. Yeah, the song's readily available on iTunes and Spotify. We would like to thank Nightcap and Vicky Vox for allowing us to play this one here on the Rated R Safety Show. Yeah, you don't understand the clearinghouse mess to get this stuff done. Yep, there you go. There you go. Good stuff right there. Good stuff. Anyways, let's get back into it. It is 40 minutes past the top of the hour as you and I are hanging out doing the fun stuff that we get to do, but from time to time we had to talk about some serious subjects, and this is not going to change at this particular moment. So let's talk about this. Let me talk about my friends at the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention. Whether you have struggled with suicide yourself or have lost a loved one, know that you're not alone. Hear about personal experience from people in your local communities whose lives have been impacted by suicide and depression. To find out more information, all you have to do is call 1-800-273-8255. That's 1-800-273-8255, or text the word TALK to 741-741, or go to afsp.org. afsp.org. That's afsp.org. Understand that this is a conversation that we shouldn't have just sometimes, but all the time. If you get to hang out on their website, you will find all kinds of fun stuff. That is real stories, how to get help, how to make a difference, how to join a local chapter, and learn real facts about what's going on during the time. Listen, always important to be able to go over there and see what they have going on. That is for sure. So like I said, if you want to find out more information, efsp.org or 1-800-273-8255 or text the word TALK to 741-741. Anyways, with that being said, let's continue going down the path and talking about some things that are going on inside of this world of ours, because it is always important to do that. So as we are talking, let's take a looky about what is going on. I'm shocked that I don't have a list. Where is the list? The list. Do we not have a list of new movies that are coming out this week? No, I'm shocked that we do not. How did that happen? Well, let's do this then. Let's do this because I don't have a list for that. I'll see if I can find it real quick. Time Magazine released the list of most influential people of 2022 this week. Are you ready for this? Some of those on the list in no particular order are Zoe Kravitz, Pete Davidson, Zendaya, Miranda Lambert, Tim Cook, Oprah Winfrey, Joe Rogan, Vladimir Zelensky, Adele, Candace Parker, and Keanu Reeves. This list consists of 100 people, so I'm pretty sure you don't want me to go through the whole list. I'm sure that I could as well if you wanted me to, but I don't think that that's going to be something that we should probably do at this particular moment in time. Anyways, let's continue talking about some other things that are going on inside of this world of ours, just for the sake of doing so. Here's the list. Thank you. Appreciate you sending that over. Let's talk about opening movies today. Here we go. The long-awaited Top Gun Maverick comes out today after more than 30 years as one of the Navy's top aviators. Pete Maverick Mitchell finds himself training a group of specialized mission, facing an uncertain future and confronting the ghost of his past. Maverick is drawn into the confrontation with his own deepest fears. So that comes out today, finally, if you want to see it. I did not realize that, I think it's, Regal? Regal has something now called the X screen, which allows you to see, it's essentially like 3 screens that are interconnected that you're able to see. So like they angle out. So I guess it's essentially like a 180 movie opposed to the standard just kind of like, here you go, it's on the screen. With that being said, Bob Burger's movie comes out today. Erupted water main creates an enormous sinkhole right at Bob's Burger. White Bob and Linda struggle to keep the business afloat. The kids try to solve the mystery that could save their family's restaurant. So those are the movies that are coming out today, if you are so inclined to do so. So let's talk about some oddball things, because I think that that's always a good time to do so. So let's do this right now. Junk food. Mountain Dew has announced the re-release of its favorite Typhoon flavor. I almost said Typhoon Lagoon. Tropical fruit punch twist of the original. In a statement, the drink maker said the throwback flavor strikes again. Mountain Dew Typhoon is back, a storm of refreshing fruity punch on your taste buds. Rumors of Typhoon return to the bubble up online. Dew Hard fans expressed their excitement for the flavor that fizzled out about a decade ago. But to try to sip the pinkish orange soda, fans will need to be a member of the Dew HQ, the brand's free reward program. After joining the Dew crew, you can purchase 16-ounce cans of Mountain Dew Typhoon from the store for $12. Beginning June the 1st. The drink is first released in 2010, and the finalists during the Dewmocracy promotion. Yep, I think one of them had a bad pun, but should be about to do it. So there you go. Anyways, Arby's is selling fast food staple that it's never offered before, best known as the roast beef. The chain is adding a hamburger to its menu for the first time in nearly 60-year history. Arby's announced on Monday that it's adding the Wagyu steak burger that costs about $5.99. Is it true, Wagyu? A limited offering beginning Monday. The burger is a blend of Wagyu beef and ground beef. Wagyu, which means a Japanese cow, refers to a specialized breed of cattle that is known for its rich flavor and buttery tenderness. Yeah, which is another thing that Arby's has never offered before. So there you go. So let's talk about this real quick because we are getting into the midst of the summer. We are right there on the cusp of talking about, of getting into the summer itself. And I am in the Sunshine State, which rains all the time during the summer, but that's a whole other story. But let's talk about Mythbusters Sunscreen Edition. Today is Sunscreen Protection Day. The statement below, contrary of we're most probably been told, are all myths. Here you go. Dark skins doesn't need sunscreen because can't get melanoma. Darker skin tones are less prone to skin cancer, but this that could mean that science can't be ignored until chances are the successful treatment are diminished. A base tan protects you. A base tan is nature's way of producing sun protection because you've been irradiated, but doesn't lessen the risk of skin cancer, and you'll age your skin faster with constant sun tanning. So there you go. You don't need to use sunscreen inside. All contact with sunlight requires protection, even exposure through the office or car windows and walking around the building to building. Anyways, the number on the sunscreen is proportionate to the number of minutes of sun protection. Nope, that is not a true fact of the protection factor. So sun protection factor is a measure on how much solar energy, UV radiation, is required to burn your skin from the protection. SPF 15 allows 1 in 15 harmful UV rays to reach your skin. The remaining 15 means you're protected against 93% of the UV radiation. So SPF 30 blocks about 97%, and SPF 50 prevents about 98. Okay, you got me there. I thought that was one of the true things, but there you go. The SPF in makeup is enough. It's good enough to cover when you're walking from your car to work. If you go outside longer than 15 minutes, you need higher SPF, must be reapplied. Anyways, one application of sunscreen is enough for the whole day. Now, reapplying is just as important as the first coat. Sunscreen gets consumed once light hits it, which means that you have to reapply regularly to remain protected. You don't need sunscreen during off-peak hours. The sun rays can cause damage no matter what time it is. If you're outside for longer than 15 minutes, you need SPF. You need to get burned at 8 a.m. as well as 4 p.m. so you can get really burned at any time of the day. So why can't I seem to get a tan? Okay, maybe that's a whole other question. Sunscreens on your face, arms, back of your legs is enough. Well, it's a great start, but you should also apply it to your ears, nose, hands, and tops of your feet. And remember that your scalp, especially if you are thinning or have less hair, because, when people go fishing, they tend to have that issue as well. So just for the information's sake of doing that. And then melanoma is only caused by sunscreen exposure. Or is caused by sun exposure, not sunscreen exposure. Melanoma can strike without sun exposure, which makes your skin check importance. Sun exposure does make risk higher. So you see, the beach summer could be a fun thing, but if we recognize that with this that we need sunscreen and extra clothing on, then you probably won't have as big of a problem. So just some things to think about as we are talking about this whole enchilada here, opposed to it just being one portion whatsoever. So a lot of stuff inside of there. Anyways, as we are 50 minutes into the hour, I think it is time to bring in some John Smalls for him to tell us about what is going on in the Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. Today's quote was submitted by Troy. Yoda said, "Just disconnect. Once in a day, sometime, sit silently from all connections. Disconnect yourself." Nice. It's a great quote from Star Wars, but it makes sense in the real world too. Sometimes you just need to unplug, unwind, and disconnect from the hustle and bustle. That can be different for each and every one of us. Some people like to go for a walk. Others may like to go for a quiet drive. Whatever that happy place is for you, find it and then go there every once in a while. It doesn't need to be an expensive exotic vacation. Those can be good too, but unplug a little bit every day. This has been today's Motivation Minute, courtesy of InsuranceChicken.com. They're known for insurance quotes. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your favorite motivational quotes can be submitted for upcoming programs at motivationminute.org.
Your Wellness Minute is brought to you by AlysaMorgan.com. There are lots of side effects to consuming too much sugar, such as becoming insulin resistant. One thing that does not get addressed enough is how insulin resistance impacts one's brain. The brain runs on glucose. When we hear about keto diet, we may think that it runs on fats, but that's not accurate. The brain can partially run on ketones, but fatty acids cannot actually cross the blood-brain barrier. So if one is becoming insulin resistant, this means that the brain cannot use glucose as well, which is going to decrease cognitive function because the brain runs on reduced fuel. And when it comes to sugar, it's helpful to remember that it's the cumulative effect that matters most. And while avoiding sugar completely is not the goal and not something that's needed, it's important to be mindful of sugar intake and ensure a balanced diet for optimal cognitive function and brain health. For additional information, check out AlysaMorgan.com.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so let's get into some more stuff that is going on inside of this lovely world of ours. Let's take a look around and see what the hell is going on right now as we are speaking. Anyways, let's wow, where did that go? Anyways, no winner for Tuesday night's Powerball drawing. Tonight's drawing will be for a $157 million jackpot or a $92.5 million cash payout. No winner for Wednesday night's Powerball drawing. Saturday night's drawing will be for a $150 million jackpot or an $88 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, you're more than welcome on doing so. I'll make reference to this just for the sake of doing this. So let's talk a little bit about show business, and I'll reference this real quick. Ellen DeGeneres said goodbye to viewers on her daytime talk show yesterday. The final episode of season 19, DeGeneres told everyone to be your true, authentic self and show compassion for others so the world can be a better place. Guests on the final show were Jennifer Aniston, Billie Eilish, and Pink. Just for information purposes. So there you go. Now you know, I know, and we're both sharing together on what is going on. Anyways, at the top of the hour, I'll be going over to RadioBig.fm if you want to come and hang out, and we get to do our thing together as we are hanging and banging and moving and grooving. Going from there. Anyways, let's talk about some things that happened back on this date. Back in 1995, Christopher Reeves is severely injured during an equestrian competition. The Superman actor fell from his horse when it failed to jump over an obstacle on the course. Reeves was paralyzed from the neck down. In the aftermath, he became the vocal advocate for victims of spinal cord injuries and human embryonic stem cell research. That happened back in 1995. Interestingly enough, I have recently been watching the Superman movies with my youngest child. It's interesting seeing it from her aspect in regards on how fun-filled that whole thing was, which I can imagine my parents must have looked at it the same way because I was super excited in watching that when I was much, much younger. Anyway, let's continue talking. Some birthdays for today. Blippi turns 34. Natalia Neidhart turns 40. Ben Feldman turns 42. Andre 3000, 47. Jamie Oliver turns 47. Marjorie Taylor Greene turns 48. Antonio Friedman, 50. Joseph Fieni, 52. Sean Kinney turns 56. Lisa Niemi turns 66. And Henry Kissinger, that Henry Kissinger, turns 99 today. If you're looking for some reasons to celebrate, well, I have some of those, of course. National Cellophane Tape Day. National Grape Popsicle Day, and then last but not least, let's talk about it. It's Sunscreen Day, just in case you did not remember that we just talked about that for a brief period of time. So there you go. Let's talk about Did You Know? Scientists have developed a new smart pacifier for newborn babies. A team at Washington State University says that their wireless biometric dummy can monitor the health of babies born prematurely and non-invasive. That means the newborn babies won't have to undergo twice daily blood draws to measure electrolyte levels. The smart pacifier will do that automatically as they use it. So that's some great technology to know about, because that's important. So for reference purposes, I will tell you we will not be here on Monday due to the Memorial Day holiday. We will be celebrating the Memorial Day holiday, so we will not be here on Monday. So just for a fresh, nice reminder. Anyways, some whack facts real quick. Michael Jordan was cut from a high school basketball team on his sophomore year. When scientists developed straight bananas in 1960s, the public refused to buy them. Birds never crash into each other because they always veer right. Given the choice, mice prefer sweets and carbs over cheese. Jesse James issued his own press release. And Chinese word for crisis and opportunity are the same. Oh, crisis and opportunity, both the same. Think about that for just a moment. Anyways, you've been listening to the Rated R Safety Show exclusively here on RadioBig.fm and Safety FM. Thank you for taking a hang out and taking a listen to what the hell we have going on, because it's always intriguing when we get to spend some time together, because I always get to enjoy myself spending my time with you. With that being said, here you go. Let's talk up real quick about random jokes. So here's a random joke if you need one. I'm getting a little worried about the Neighbor Watch program. Some guy called me at 3 a.m. to let me know that there was a bit of saliva running down the side of my mouth. If you need a phone starter for today, try this one. What fun or bizarre secret society would you like to start? If you need something for the water cooler, try this. Question. If you're average, you're going to do this about 40 times this summer. What is it? Eat ice cream. Do you only have to do that in the summer? I didn't know that was only a summer thing. Okay, just saying that for a moment. So there you go. That's it. So thanks for hanging out. I really do hope that you have a great and fantastic weekend. That is for sure. Like I said, we will not be here on Monday, but we will return on Tuesday. So we will be looking forward to taking a look and a gander to see what the hell you have going on for sure. If I can leave you with a deep thought for this weekend, I would love to leave you with this one. People wait all week for Friday, all year for summer, and all life for happiness. Boy, if you could make some things change. Anyways, there you go. Thank you for taking a listen. I know who you are.
Duh.
You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye. Enjoy your weekend.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.
If you would keep me waiting, I would wait a lifetime. In tricky situations, I will be a lifeline. Nobody's meant to be fighting alone. That's why I'm taking you home. I never felt something like